but some of the trouble that has been involved in, and it's gone further now in that they're taking it and going through all the ifs, ands, and buts, what can happen, what not can happen. And naturally, the first thing we know is the state um, court in New York one said that Trump violated the law and that he accusing him of directing illegal hush money payments to women during his presidential campaign in 2016. And that seems to be heating up right now, especially with Mr. Cohen that's testifying against Trump. Because Cohen says that Trump told him to buy the silence of these two women that Trump supposedly had sexual affairs with. And Cohen did that. He gave him each $130,000, basically, to be quiet, not make a sound, especially during this 2016 election, because they didn't want anybody from the public to know about this, especially for a certain length of time. Maybe when 6 months or a year went by, it really didn't matter. And Cohen has pled guilty, as we know, to several charges, and he's going to be he's going to come to court shortly and be sentenced. The other things, Trump isn't charged with anything right now, but the question is, can you charge a president who is in active duty of representing the whole country in the presidency? And supposedly you can't charge Trump while he's in the presidency with a crime. So the next question is, all right, let's say they're getting ready to charge Trump, and it's getting close, and he admits he did something. He admits that he told Cohen to pay these girls with this money so that they could keep quiet during this election. Well, one thing, he could pardon himself. He can give himself a pardon. He's done that with two people lately, and the pardon would get him out of that, supposedly out of that case where he's going to be getting charged with crimes. But if he does the pardon, most of your people in the government say that the Democrats would start impeachment proceedings immediately if he tries to give himself a pardon, which he has in his pocket. He can give anybody he wants pardons, and he's done it with two people lately. So that's one angle that you have to think about. Then another thing, if Trump can't be charged while he's in office, the next question is, when can he be charged with a crime? So one thing, these two crimes have 5-year statute of limitations. That means if I do something to you or a girl or whatever like that, there's a 5-year statute of limitations. And that would mean if Trump would run in 2020 and he was elected, these cases are going to run out in 2011 because they were in 2016, and in 2021, they're dead. You can forget about them. Just like nothing ever happened with him and these girls. He never had dates with them, sex with them, or anything. The case is over, the statute of limitations. But for that to happen, he's going to have to get elected again in the 2020 election, so that he really never left office. He just was in office for this term, and then he immediately moved to the other term. So he never left office. but the 5-year statute could be not a problem for Trump. It could help him if that's his plan, to try to win the next election, keep on going, working as president, and then when that 5 years is up on those 2 cases with the girls, those cases are gone. Then you don't have to worry about getting indicted or arrested or anything else. Then the question is, could Trump be indicted once he leaves office? Well, if he doesn't get elected in 2020, the day this term's over, I think they could indict him and arrest him for these 2 charges with the girls, because the 5 years aren't up, the statute's not up, and the cases are still live. And the reason they didn't arrest him while he was an active president is because supposedly they don't arrest sitting presidents, and they don't get indicted. They just keep working, and they're saying we want them to keep working because we don't want to leave the government in sort of a mess where nobody knows what's going on, nobody knows what's happening, so we're not going to indict any president. And they say we don't care what he did, especially these small things like this. This isn't a big crime. I mean, it sounds like maybe it is, but supposedly he had sex with these 2 women. And the thing that bothers me that I don't like about it, though, and I'm sort of like most of these people on the street, is you have all these children, your children, my children, grandchildren, coming up in 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. They're in school studying, and the person is supposed to be the most important man in the country has problems with having sex with 2 girls. Now, how does that sound to your child, your grandchild? These people in these schools, especially in their teens, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, that bothers me. I don't like it. Now, I'm not saying a grown man can't do anything he wants in his love life or whatever, but you have all these children looking at the number 1 man in the country, the biggest man in the country, President of the United States, and he's getting in trouble with these women. That I don't like.
Yeah.
And it's all over the streets and records and in the newspapers every day and everything else. Now, so the first thing we'll talk about is we'll say that a sitting president basically can't be indicted. And I don't know if there's any law in it or not, because a lot of these questions about what you can do with a president as far as prosecuting him while he is in office, there are no answers. There are no answers, because they have not gone to try these things. That means arrest a president in office, let him keep working in office, let him keep talking to the world, I'm the head of the United States. And also, he's arrested and he has to be getting ready for trials while he's in office. That's why they say you can't indict a sitting president. They don't want to mess with him, and frankly, I don't blame him on that, because I don't know how he could do his job if he's fighting all these cases. And the next question is, when they're talking about the actual crime that he committed, as we know, with these 2 girls, another thing that comes up is, will the prosecutors have to prove Trump had criminal intent and willfully violated the law? I don't know, and I don't know how the people want to go into this, since it involves more or less women and partying and things like that. And so some people could say this might be a crime, but it's not the type of crime that we want to prosecute to get rid of the President of the United States.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things that are going to be coming up soon, and Mueller is bringing these things up fast. So we're going to have some answers, and we're going to have answers quick. I'm going to follow this case as there are more developments in it, and I will bring them to you. Thank you.